What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So, I've seen a lot on Twitter, on YouTube about this burn rate, about the fact that burns are maybe not important, seeing 0.2% burn and focusing more on utility is the way that, we're supposed to go. And I've talked about this in the past and talking about burns versus utility. I've put this on Twitter talking about burns versus utility, and there are people on both sides. People that believe we need to increase the burn rate, and people that believe we don't need to increase the burn rate. So I wanted to have a discussion about this because it truly, is kind of mind-boggling to me as to why people don't understand why burning would be the solution or even looking at utility. I understand both sides. I really do. But for one side to not understand where the other side is coming from at all is a little ridiculous. So, and also that side that's saying that we don't understand where you're coming from is also trying to include some sort of a burn rate within their transactions through utility in order to create this overall outcome. The solution is the same, or the outcome should be the same, to where we want to burn down the supply to a reasonable amount, to where we can see decent prices, repeg USTC, get this back to $1, $2, $3, whatever, however many dollars we want. Um, and now we can see everything function as if it was normal, as well as create more utility with how many investors or how many coins we had. And based on how many coins we had, how many more investors were investing into the platform, investing into the project. So anyways, let's talk about this. We're going to talk about burns versus utilities. I know it's kind of a topic that we're kind of just like, I don't know, just fighting a battle that we feel like nobody can win, and it just continues to go on and on and on. Um, but we're going to talk about this, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel quite a bit. Now, I just saw a video from Claybro talking about trillions and how burning trillions would be a difficult process at the current burn rate, even if we are going to see utility. But I think one thing that wasn't really factored into that was the fact of, not all utility or not all dApps are going to be built at the same time frame. Yes, they want to build on the chain, but how long does it take to build it? How long will it take to get utility out there? While we're looking for the volume and saying we need to focus on volume, well, what if we don't have any volume while they're still building? And now we're looking at this and going, well, we tried and we're not seeing anything happen there. The same thing they did with the 1.2%. Well, people are going to struggle. They're going to say, you know what, this is dead, and we're not going to see any success. You're going to see investors leave because of that, and it's just not going to be a good situation for anybody. So, let's talk about both utility and burns. Right, raising the burn tax, we understand it has its pros and cons. Right, pros would be that we were able to burn off a lot faster with transactions that go through. Everything that is created on the chain, we would have that burn tax. Every transaction that you do make, whether you're having some form of utility, would burn it off faster, thus increasing the price potential a lot further. Not necessarily the price, but the price potential, right? The cons would be the fact that some dApps that create, which I still don't know which dApps those are, some dApps would not be able to create or build on the chain because of the fact that they have so many different transactions that go through. That would have cost them a hell of a lot in order to build. Some popular things from what I understand, but I still haven't gotten any names of projects that do this. So once I get to know that it's more of the many and not the few, then it will make a little bit more sense. So increasing the tax to 1% or 3% may have that big con right there, to where you're seeing these dApps not create or build on this chain. But then you also have the lack of volume, right? Because people are going to move over to CEXs where they don't have to pay any type of fees. However, they still do that now, right? Even if they don't want to go through utility or anything like that, they still go through that now, to where they go to Binance or KuCoin or any of these other platforms that offer 0.1% or 0% of a fee in order to get past this tax, whatever they do have as a tax. So any tax we understand does have those cons and has those pros. Now also look on the other side of utility. What are the pros? What are the cons? Well, pros would be that we create more utility, which essentially will create more volume. Um, Now, more volume will increase the amount of burns that we're seeing go through because we have the 0.2% burn through transactions and all of that. But then we also have some major cons with utility, not understanding how long it will take to build, not understanding and hearing your community, because majority of the community is more about seeing that investment side of things work out, because you're building on utility and banking on that volume to stay the same. When that volume, the amount of people that are going in and out and moving all over the place, shouldn't be where it is, right? The volume is different because people have a different mindset. Once you take away that mindset and satisfy their need for gains, which you will satisfy their need for gains as you start to get to a certain place to where you don't get as much of a return. So right now you can get a 10,000x return at like the maximum level, all the way up to like a $1 price point. Now, if we got up to a point to where it's already 50 cents or a dollar or whatever, and it does have a resistance, and we see less people that are getting into it for the investment, now you can really focus heavily on utility, because that's going to be the driving force to push this thing forward. So with the thought process there, it's definitely focusing more on that utility side of things, trying to turn an investor, or not an investor, a trader, into an investor, which most likely they don't want to be an investor. They want to be a trader. There's a difference between the two. So we're mixing the bag here, which is not going to be good for the overall situation. This is exactly what happened with Shiba Inu, where I don't want to see it happen with Terra Luna Classic. They're building on the utility and not focusing on what the investors want. The investors want to be able to gain something in Shiba Inu. They didn't get to that point to where they had a burn rate in every single instance. Now, if they added that burn rate, we would have seen people, drop like flies when it comes to getting their gains, accepting their gains, and then also in the long run, accepting that utility is going to be the main purpose of what this is. So I'm definitely stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I understand people, I understand investors. I've been on both sides as an investor, as a trader, I've been on both sides, and I know what people are thinking. It's all about gains for them. And it's not saying that it needs to be a get rich quick scheme or get rich quick type of investment, but it needs to be something that satisfies the end goal of most investors into this product, into this project. So that's where I stand with this. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I think both need to be implemented, and we need to focus on this on in the background, focus on utility in the background, build different pieces of utility while also providing a burn rate, and then focusing on finding a way to get the volume as high as we possibly can, right? So once we find the right burn rate that works in our favor, that doesn't take 100+ years for this to completely play out, and gets people excited and satisfies their need for gains, we can do something very, very big here. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I will keep talking about this no matter how much people are like, oh, well, we're just talking about the same thing over and over again. It's because people, or major people in the community, just don't get it, and some bigger people that are telling you that it's all about utility and nothing else matters, they're neglecting a lot of the community that was brought on just for gains, purely for gains, not for the long-term aspect of it. It's just like every other cryptocurrency that's out there. There's people that are in Bitcoin just for gains. There are people that are in Bitcoin for the end goal. There are people that are in Ethereum just for gains, people that are in Ethereum for the end goal. And you have to satisfy whatever is the most of that investment percentage, right? So if people are investing 90% into this position for gains, you can't look to satisfy the 10% and neglect the 90%, because what they will do is kind of give up on, for lack of a better term, they're just going to give up on the project, and no one wants that. I don't want that, you don't want that, and then we have a failed project here because people are focusing on the wrong areas. So let's try and focus on both. Let's put more of an emphasis on understanding what's the right burn rate, how we can get the supply down to a certain level. Yes, focus on utility a little bit, but we don't need to sit here and put all in energy only on utility. That's a big portion to drive some volume, but we need to satisfy those traders mindset, as well as seeing the investors mindset. You have to understand that, because once we do that, those traders turn into investors, right? Where they invested in 100 million coins and they sold 90 million of it. Now they have 10 million to sit and look at it as an investment, right? For the long term. And you keep those investors, you keep those people that made money from it and now are reinvesting because they believe in it. Anyways, guys, I don't know. You let me know what you're thinking. We will keep going back and forth about this, but I believe it's going to be difficult unless we find the right area that we are focusing on. So, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.